wine, been talking to the team, working on new ways to surprise and delight. We have a lot in store, a lot to announce for Town Hall. So I hope you guys will catch us on Friday. And yes, today, new setup, new live drawing. Now we're live painting, much like we did at the live event. You guys remember that? Beatheads IRL? Yeah, that was great. That was good stuff. So, I think we're gonna go and just dive in. We're gonna paint Champion 1997. We're gonna start with that. Champion 7, lucky number 7. So we can make sure all the other champions. This is my favorite part, by the way, is like peeling off these like dry pieces of paint. But we're so satisfying. But we're gonna make sure we start off on a lucky note. 1997. It's very young. 97. Just a wee lad. And I want to take you guys on a journey, start to finish, about the painting process, and just dive a lot more deeper into Beathead's lore, why these are the champions, and maybe, you know, how they interact with the elementals, right? A lot of people asking about the elementals. We got a lot in store for those guys.
Inquiring minds want to know, Phil.
Inquiring mind, yes indeed, yes indeed. Um, and just know we know what we got to do to make you happy, and we're always trying to escalate, right? Escalate everything that we're doing. We've given you more JPEGs. Well, that's not enough anymore. We need to do more than that. We need more utility. We need more things to add on to what we're doing. So very excited for the things to come when they do come. I'm just trying to be cryptic, not announce too much alpha. But I have my canvas here, and for anyone that has a champion, you'll be having a wood canvas. So it starts off a little something like this. Just natural. I think this is balsal wood. Very archival, very sturdy. Sometimes when you ship paintings out, there's risk of canvas poking, getting ripped. With this is a lot less concern. So since we're starting with 1997, I'm gonna pull it up here on my screen, and we have a red background for the champ. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with a red wash. I have my squeeze bottle right here, my little squirty guy. And what I like to do is I like to prep my canvas, give a little spray, loosen them up, because after all, we are working with Liquitex, heavy body acrylic, and this is a water-based paint. So the more you dilute it with water, it won't lose out on any pigment, but it will just be a lot less viscous and smoother to paint with. And when we're doing washes, we don't want to have a very heavy base on it. So we're kind of just going very light on it. And I've already kind of did a loose pencil illustration of the champ here, but it's very hard to tell on the screen. I don't know if you guys can see it. I try to bring like an extra light in here, but I'm not sure if it's working that well. But you kind of want something really loose. I'm almost thinking that's still too thick for me. You kind of want it to be a little runny. So we're just kind of making sure we can cover up all of this white. I'm going to take a lot more time with these pieces. So I don't think we'll complete a whole champion today. And when we pick them up next week, it might not be 1997. It might be somebody else because I'll be working on them throughout the week, trying to get them out to you guys. So we'll have a lot more to announce in the days coming. Also happy to announce that I will be on the next Crypto.com Sunday Spaces, the return Sunday Spaces. They're interested in what we've been doing as a community and all of the other projects going to Jesse's convention. He'll be there too, and we'll talk a lot more about what we're doing with Jesse and how we're trying to bridge communities together, which is really awesome. What we're trying to do here, right? Get the word out. Let people know. Let people know. Yeah. So this is kind of where I'm at. I like this. So we just want to just get a nice soft layer of red. Just so we're covering up all the white. Right? The white is nice to have it as a base layer. But we're looking for a very rich painting, very saturated. And sometimes I like to go and paint these edges up too. Make sure very cohesive. It's been real dry here in LA lately, so the the water sprayer is really good with the acrylic paint. Gives you an extra little bit of workability. One more time. Standing up real quick. So, I mean, I'm not professionally taught painter. I'm more of a graphic designer, but I use a lot of the same principles I've learned in graphic design with painting. And I really, I think going digital boosted my confidence in painting because I could see what mistakes I can make without making too much of a mess. By the way, loving all of the art submissions. Shout out to Nikki. I know she can't be here right now. She has surgery, so let's all keep her in our thoughts. Wish for a speedy recovery for our gal. Because we're a community, first and foremost, here at Beatheads, right? So you could see, I mean, even just doing the background, you want to take care of it. Nurture it, love it, hold it close. This is the foundation of everything here. Can you guys see that okay? Should I bring it closer? Maybe I'll bring it closer. Rubik's. Rubik's owns the champion. Congratulations, Rubik's. This one's for you. And if you're drinking like I am, cheers. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday. Ooh, I like that. Wonderful Wednesday. We like those. So now I think I'm gonna try to start putting in some highlights, right? Now I can cut into what I'm gonna start. Hard to explain. I'm gonna start sculpting, I guess. We're just looking for my brushes here. Got a bunch of brushes I'm looking for. How many flat brushes? I think this will do. Yeah, good one. Oh no, perfect. This is great. This is great. Okay, so I'm gonna try to create like a little bit of a glow happening here with this red. So what I like to do sometimes when I'm trying to lighten up red, I don't use white. Because then if you use white, I just spilled paint all over myself. If you use white, it's going to make it pink, right? And it won't look like it's glowing. It'll just look pink. So a tip for me is use yellow to lighten up your red. And that'll warm it up more. Create more of like luminescence, I guess. Um, it'll just lend for a better experience, better painting. So, what I'm doing here, besides making a huge mess, is I lost the cap. Oh, jeez. See, this is this is the difference between uh digital and physical, right? You just make a huge mess. All right. Anyway, so I have my paints here. I have my reds. And I have my yellow. So what I want to do right now is I want it more yellow than red. So instead of bringing the yellow to the red, I'm going to bring the red here to the yellow, right? Taking a little bit of this water here with me. I don't know if you guys could see that, right? So I'm going to start with this. And then I'm just going to bring in this yellow here. And just ever so slightly warm it up. And then we can start kind of cutting in to where our champion would be. Sure if you're able to get a read on that. But also what I like about, when the paint is nice and wet, it's just a lot easier to blend. I feel. So again, I'm just constantly trying to mix back and forth, and I have I have the color I want right here, so I can eyeball exactly what color I'm trying to mix in. And so this is kind of the fun of painting for me is the push and pull of the values and creating depth on a basically two-dimensional uh, canvas. So what I'm trying to do eventually is I want this to look like it's popping out of the canvas, right? Why are these guys champions? We explain that we have champions, but why? Why? What makes them champions? Why is this the way we're treating the champions? Well, I think part of the lore goes with these guys is if you've seen the Beatheads and the Negaverse Gen 2 Beathead collection, it's very much 3D. Sorry, very much 2D, two-dimensional, bold lines, very kawaii, Hello Kitty style, iconic. But what sets these champions apart is they don't fit in that category, right? Now these champions actually live in the real world, right? They live in our dimension. They don't live in Web 3. That's why they're the champs. They're the ones that have told us all about the Beatheads and their struggle and their plight to escape the Negaverse. And now the Negaverse is escaping into our world. So these champions need to band together and figure out a way to really, truly break the spell of the Negaverse. Because ultimately, if you really think about it, what is Paradise Lost, but something that is scary to outsiders that they don't really know the true history of it, right? So maybe we've been looking at the Negaverse wrong this whole time. That it wasn't what was causing all of this strife and pain, but it was maybe people or industries using and manipulating the power of this world for their own fortune, which is never a good thing. So we have our base layer going. And I just wanted to take time to bring some attention to this silly coil here. Basically, it's uh, like a thick gauge wire coiled up, and I have some water. So you basically just run your brush through it. Gives your brush something to grip onto to clean it better, right? Because you always want a clean brush. You always want a clean brush. You can't work with a dirty brush. No siree. You can't do it. It's possible, but we're older, we're wiser. It'll only slow us down. Mixmaster Phil, Sean, I like that. Cheers to you guys. We're working on trying to get this message out about the champions and the significance they hold not only to Gen 1, not only to Gen 2, but the part they play in Gen 3, you know. And I think that's something that we can all look forward to. That me and the team constantly talk about it. When are we going to tell these people what we've really been thinking of? So now I'm going to start using a little bit of a dry brush technique. Now that my paint is a little bit more dry, I can really start kind of carving in these details here with this shine that I'm trying to get. This is the fun part, just kind of trying to get everything to a point where you're just blending into each other. Just blending. Trying to get the right consistency going. So I heard Mercury's in retrograde right now. I don't know if you guys follow that kind of stuff, but I've heard about it. Heard some people complaining about it, but I don't know. I guess I've experienced some of it, maybe. But right now, I'm just trying to focus on painting. I do what I do best here. So these paintings, this is what I used to do for a living for a while, a long time. I would sit in my studio, paint for hours on end for an art show or something like that. Just kick it. Mostly all the time in solitude. Just me and my paintbrush. So is it hard? I feel like I'm blocking like the angles for you guys here. It's me and my paintbrush. Trying to get this outline to glow. I don't know if you guys kind of see it taking shape yet, but for me, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. So I hope you guys have been having a good week. Boy, this year is flying by. I'll tell you. Just seems like yesterday we launched. And we're here, Gen 2, Gen 3 in the works. Still plenty of announcements. Still plenty of things to do. There's just more and more coming. Let's see here. This is looking pretty good. This glow is coming out pretty good. So usually with a glow, there's like a couple different steps. You have your mid-tone, which is what color is it glowing? And I think we decided it's glowing yellow. And then once we have that decided and we're blending it in well, we bring in the white with yellow. Because when you put white with yellow, that becomes it acts as a highlight. So it's like all of these different layers, right? It's like the red blends into the yellow, and the yellow blends into the white, creates this highlight. Painting is just kind of just being confident in yourself. I'm nowhere near the best painter in the world, but that's not gonna stop me from painting. It's not gonna stop me from living my dreams. No siree. Hard to always try to compare yourselves to others. That was a huge problem for me growing up early on in my career, constantly. Looking at other artists, what they're doing, and why am I not doing that? Why am I not as cool as them? That's just stinking thinking. Now I know I don't have to be like them. I don't need that, you know? Be grateful for what I have and people that have been put along my path help me out. Gotta look at the signs sometimes. So, I mean, you can clearly see this. This takes a lot longer than the digital stuff. I got too used to the digital stuff. Got me spoiled. Got me really spoiled. So I'm just trying to work on this glow here. Maybe I could start doing like Maybe I'll start doing like a streak or something. Because we want to make this special. We want people to really understand why these guys were champions. Why we need these guys so bad. How they affect the rest of the project, how they tie into everything. All that stuff. That's nice. That's nice. Okay. So we're gonna try to get into this glow now. I got my fresh sheet of paper towel here. So you guys could see I still have a little bit of yellow. I got a little bit of white. I'm gonna start on another palette here. Spray my palette down with some water. And then I'm gonna pull some white into this palette right here. I'm gonna pull some white in there. And I'm gonna just slowly mix in this yellow. Get a nice yellow. So we can slowly make our transition into the white highlight. So we're going with that right now. I think we could go a little bit more darker with the yellow. It's all about trusting yourself. Just figuring out what you could do a little bit better. Learning from old paintings. It's a lot different from the Wacom here. So we're just really trying to establish the silhouette right now, which I think is looking pretty good. Decided not to go for the crazy textured look like we did in the live drawing on IRL. I think this is going to be much more legible as a NFT as well. Because that's, what I'm all about, right? The legibility of everything. Trying to make sure that you're going to know that this is the champion. Right? So can you guys see that? It looks like it doesn't even look like I've done anything. But I'm doing so much. I'll bring this up to the camera in a second here. But again, thank you guys hanging out with me on this Wednesday night. Just kicking it, doing full-time fill things, working hard. Trying to make sure we know what we want to do for you guys. Next few weeks look promising. A lot of activities. A lot of cool activities to do. So you kind of just see where I'm at right now. Show you guys. So you can kind of see I'm creating this glow around it, right? And to kind of drive that point home, we're gonna go back, revisit the red. We're gonna revisit the red a little bit. And what we're gonna do with that is we're just gonna add a little bit more color into the red on the corners of the piece. Try to create a vignette, if you will. So I have some magenta here and some red. And that should give us like a nice purpley red color. And then I'm just gonna give it the slightest hint of carbon black. Oh, excuse me, ivory black. Just the tiniest touch. Okay, like literally. You see that black splosh right there? I just want to like literally touch it with like one little bristle, and then that'll give me literally all like the depth I need that I'm looking for right now. So kind of got this going. I think okay. Maybe I was lying. I think we want a little bit more black. See, it's trial and error. Trial and error. Sometimes you get it on the first shot, sometimes you don't. But you always just keep trying. Well, you gotta get these big palettes mixed with. Okay, there you go. So I'm just trying to give it some more depth. Give this shine something to latch onto, right? Give it a little bit more contrast. Just have people say, "Hey, what's going on here?" I want to know. What are we doing? You know, playing around, have a good time. No expectations. I mean, there's expectations for sure. I want these to be some of the best paintings I've done in a long time. I want to be real proud of these paintings and proud to ship them out to all you champion holders, whoever you are. Cough, cough, Aaron. Cough, cough. Oh, the forehead cam. Sheesh. I don't know. I need to figure out. I need to figure out like a streaming setup or whatever. That's for the kids, man. That's for those kids these days with all their streaming and beaming, whatever they're doing. So again, we're kind of just gradually trying to lighten this yellow up here. Uh, oops. Just want to make sure we have a good foundation to start from. What I love about painting is like sometimes you could literally never be done. You could work on a painting for the rest of your life, honestly, just picking out little details, fixing little things here and there. So that's the real art, right? Is knowing when to stop. Knowing when to just pull back and be like, all right, I think I got it. I think I got it. I think I'm pleased with this. Right. Turn your head off. Turn your mind off for a little bit, you know? Unplug. Just little starbursts. Oh, wow. Jeez. Yeah, these guys are gonna take a little bit longer for sure. There's so much more detail I want to add and put onto these guys. All right. So let's go into the maybe taking a sip of this drink real quick. Yeah. Oh yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. So let's try to get into his flesh tone real quick. It's more of like a caramel, I would say. Making me hungry thinking about it. Gonna go grab dinner with the in-laws tonight. Getting Korean barbecue. I'm excited about that. So, let's see now. I want to get my pencil out again. This is going to be hard to see, I guess, but I'm going to just kind of go back and retrace where I was with this. These will not be a one-for-one reproduction of the champions. I'm gonna go in and I'm hand drawing all of these guys. Trying to make sure we have the very best quality stuff here, right? That's what we want. We want the good stuff, baby. Okay. So I'm gonna have to bring in some more black here. Need that stuff. Never go too wrong. If I can find it. There we are. Again, and I'm gonna start on another palette, a different palette here. Pull a little bit more black out. What you need. And I'm gonna start mixing this cream color that I have with the black. And I'm gonna try basically to start working on the shadow of the figure here of the beathead. And I have these handy dandy palettes here, this palette knife, which when you're trying to mix bigger colors, larger batch of colors, it's more handy. And even you can paint with palette knives. A lot of great artists out there exclusively use palette knives for all the painting needs. Excuse me as I knock everything over. So I'm just going to try to grab some of this cream here. Grabbing some of this cream. Just mixing it up in this other palette. And just trying to grab as much. Like, trying to grab some black and just mix it up to really see what type of color we could get. I think I want to go a little bit darker here. And I'm going to add some red to warm it up a bit. So I'm grabbing some of this red here. There you go. I'm getting this really cool color. That will be a nice shadow for what I want to do. And this is a method that was taught to me by a great artist friend of mine. He goes by the artist Germs. And Yeah, he just taught me that if you go darker, if you start with your darkest value and you keep incorporating light to it, lighter values, you kind of create this very layered, like 3D look, um, which is my favorite way to paint, and I really grateful that he taught me how to do that because I use it to this day with all my paintings. I'm just trying to get that nice dark brown. Not like Photoshop, you could just pick a color, any color. You pick whatever color you want. This you gotta think about it just a little bit more. Gotta think about it. But when you get that color just right, makes it very worth it. Very satisfying. So I'm just still working on my colors here. I think I got it. I think I got the color I wanted. So I'm just gonna clean up my palette knife. I'm gonna come into here, grab this brush right here. Just want to make sure brush is good. All right, and then we're just gonna keep dabbing my brush into this paint. And I think we're gonna want to just add a little bit of water. So I like to dip my brush into the water. Kind of reabsorb that moisture in there. And we're gonna go in with our darkest color. Gonna be a little bit of this gray. Really dark gray. Dark brown. Gonna get a light coat of it first. Wait for it to dry. Mix a little bit more paint. You know, maybe mess with the tone a little bit. Not looking. Yeah. Just with that. Mhm. Get a little bit more red in there. See, we're just gonna start cutting in. We're trying to start to define our shapes. Right. Kind of see it taking shape now. Nice even brush strokes. Get going. Add a little bit more water into this bad boy here. There we go. You know, and I think I'm gonna go back in, grab some of this color, add a little bit more black to it, and then just hit the edges of it. Just to define the shape a little bit more. See, we're just blending Trying to get these shadows going. Perfect. Painting live. Don't be afraid to use your hands or brush or any kind of tool you have. You know. There we go. That's pretty nice. Looking pretty nice. Go closer. I should go much closer. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Is that better? That's much better. Okay. I'm gonna let this dry here. Let this dry. Usually I'll have like a blow dryer, something like that. Just fanning my life away. Gosh, what a fanboy, am I right? Oh, come on now, guys. This thing on? Huh? Anyway, just me. Cool. Just me. Looks awesome. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I think this is a much nicer, closer look into what's going on here. But it's much harder for me to paint that close to the camera. It's funny. All right. So, let's see. We want to get like a nice round brush. A nice round brush we can blend with. You know what I like to do with fresh brushes? I like to just run them across my palm. Just loosen these bristles up, right? Loosen those bad boys up. Get it going. And then now we're going to try to start lightening this thing. Still a little tacky, I want it to dry just a little bit more, but let me take this opportunity to cheers, you guys, for another month of Beat Heads, another month of this community, and us shining and growing together. And for the future, what might come, what may come, what will come. So I'm gonna start working on trying to get this a little bit lighter. I'm gonna start pulling my lightest tone, push it off to the side here, and then just grab some of my darker color and bring it into my lighter tone. So now that I have a midway point, just dab a little bit of the paint off brush, and I think I want the light just bow, like hitting it from the middle. So I like to just, you know, ever so lightly, ever so lightly start lightening it up, right? So you start with the very midpoint and you're just going out to the very edge, out to the very edges, trying to trying to create volume, trying to create shape right now. This is what I love, right? It's just like doesn't look like much now, but the more you work, the more patient you are, the more beautiful the image ends up becoming. So sometimes you want to play with how dry the paint is, right? And you kind of want to do like these little cross-hatch strokes is what I like to do when I'm trying to blend out. And then I just start ever so slightly working my way out into the very edge of the black, right? And just ever so slightly get those kind of cover up little splotches on the way. Getting this here. Yeah, I can already see it. I can already see it coming together. It's beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. So now I'm going to start incorporating a little bit more white. A little bit more of my lighter color. Okay. Again, working from the inside. Right? Trying to pull all your paint from the inside and push it out. And you're just pushing your paint out. You're trying to find that curve, right? Because this is not a flat object. This is a sphere, right? It's the face, it's the head. There's things, volume, depth that we haven't seen before. These are why they're the champions. These are the ones that have transcended the digital realm and now have infiltrated the physical space, right? No other beathead. No other beathead has done that. So you could see kind of taking shape now, right? How it was once just a really gray blob. Now I'm adding all of these highlights in, right? Creating that illusion of depth, right? Making it look like popping out of the page. That's what I'm looking for here. That's what I want to do. That's what these champions deserve. Champion holders deserve a lot. Their name should go down into the storybooks. Should be a part of the lore. You know? May your names echo through eternity. Right? I don't know why I started talking like that. It's weird. Okay. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's looking good. And again, I'm bringing in more of the lighter paint into the already mixed in light paint that I'm doing. So if you can see, there's a pattern going on, right? There's a pattern going on. I'm just making it lighter and lighter. Just trying to make it as light as I can. Give the illusion. Oh, crap. Jeez. That was my toe that did that. Give the illusion of volume, shape. There's a process. Very therapeutic. You know, you're at the mercy of the paint. You let the paint do the talking, you know. You're not actually painting, right? The brushes. They got these extra long handles. Maybe that's what I'll do. These extra long handles. It might not look like I'm doing anything, but I'm really doing a lot here. Just kind of bringing out these values. Just making sure that you can see them. Making sure. And then, maybe we'll give it a little bit of a highlight, right? Rim light. Little bit of that rim light. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. What are you guys dressing up as for Halloween? Any plans? Halloween parties? Sims. Oh, Scott Pilgrim. Nice. Okay, Charlie got his daughter's art contest and showed Beatheads. It's not Elvis. Awesome. We're gonna check it out, Charlie. It's amazing. Loving also the submission so far. Of course, it's hard to pick a winner. All you guys are so talented. But that means we only have more prizes to give, right? It's not just one prize. Multiple prizes. Multiple prizes. Oh, geez, guys, it's almost 5. Look at that. Where did the time go? My God. So, I mean, you can see how these paintings can take hours. This has only been 1 hour so far. And I've only done the background and the head. I'm not even finished with the head yet. Sometimes my friend, he would work on multiple paintings at the same time, but that just makes my head hurt. So I just really want to give you like the fulfill experience, that before this, for NFTs, before Beatheads, I was a, studio painter. I paint, do art shows and all that stuff, and this is what I would do. Make my living painting pieces. I'd have my Big Cartel. You guys remember Big Cartel? I'd have like my little online shop. I'd sell good times, good times. I like this better. I like this better. Just let that dry. And I hate to cut it now, but I do have dinner to attend to. I want to be a good boy and make sure I get that. But let me just kind of show you where we're at right now. If you could kind of see like the type of depth I'm going for, right? It almost looks like you could grab this ball from the canvas, and it's literally just 2D. DJ Kelly Mac, what's up, bro? I see you. So we're just trying to get this going. But this is where I'm leaving you guys off. Champion 1999. Maybe I'll post it when I'm done, but next week I'll be painting a different champion, so maybe I'll start a champion that like is more halfway through, right? To give you an idea of like where my mind goes when I'm like finishing off details and stuff like that. So again, trying to bring 3D elements using nothing but paint. giving the champions their justice and showing you why they're champions. They've transcended the 2D realm and have busted out. Now they live here with us in 3D. The champions, elementals, they're tied together. Has something to do with Gen 3. I just want to leave you with that. More to come in the next few weeks, next few months, years, right? Forever and ever. Beatheads. So just want to thank you guys for staying staying tuned and checking out the paintings, and I'll catch you guys on Discord, and I'll see you guys on Town Hall. We have a ton of information to let you guys know about, so stay tuned when you can. All right, guys. Well, that's gonna do it for me, Phyllis Lunchbag, your humble servant. And I will see you guys in there. Later, guys. Peace.